Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we are going to be answering one of the most common questions that I've been receiving over the last few days on whether it is too late or not to be buying mana. Now, of course, with Decentraland getting so much attention over the last few days, especially after Facebook changed its name to Meta, a lot of people were questioning, is this thing over? Is it climbing? Is it done climbing? It went up 400%, as we can see here. And so with all of those questions, I am here to provide you all with my understanding of what's going on, what I'm expecting to see from the price, and how you can make a game plan on whether or not you will be buying or not. So of course, as we do see here, mana has been going up like ridiculous, right? And we saw this increase of price just over the span of a week. And let's go from the bottom of our wick all the way to where we are now. Again, up over 300%, as we did see on that post, at up over 587% at one point. But when we do look at the daily charts, it does seem as if things have slowed down a little bit, especially as the Facebook news is kind of dying off. And so with that, again, people are asking a question. Well, is now the time to be buying? Should I be selling? What would I do? So I'm going to talk about what I would be doing in this situation. First and foremost, let's go ahead and get this thing started in saying that I do believe these projects that are revolving around the metaverse are going to have an extreme amount of potential over the long run. But I know you guys aren't really too focused on the long run right now. You're more focused on the short term and what I'm expecting to happen next. So with that being said, I do believe that there is still long-term potential. I don't believe this is the all-time high for mana. I do believe that going forward, if altcoin season does continue, that we will find some growth into the future here. But I think the road to future growth, the road to all-time highs, could be a little bit rocky unless a few factors do play. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that. So if we zoom into the 4-hour charts, we can clear as day see that we are creating a consolidational event. Now this consolidational event is reflected by this symmetrical triangle. Now, generally speaking, these are bullish patterns. What that means is typically what happens is we'll go into it, consolidation, allow our RSIs and our indicators to cool off, into a continuation to the upside. The only times in which they will serve as just as bullish as they are bearish, like a 50-50 pattern, is right after the big announcement of news. That's something I've noticed time and time again with these top cryptos, is that if we have a big announcement of news, like Facebook with changing its name to Meta, and in this consolidational event, it tends to be just about a 50-50 on whether it's going to break out to the upside or break out to the downside. So speaking from a technical perspective, looking at this pattern, of course we can go ahead and say that the breakout that we see in either direction is going to tell us just about everything we need to know about the short term. But I do want to issue out a few warnings of things I am seeing on the charts that may say there is a small chance, maybe a 40 to 60% chance that we do see the fall to the downside, meaning a 60% chance we may fall to the downside and a 40% chance that we break out to the upside. Now, first and foremost, the reason I say that is going to be the divergences in which we are seeing. Divergence number one, of course, is going to be the difference. And we're slowing down in volume. So, of course, being able to continue upwards and maintain some of these highs in which we had set may be a little bit difficult considering the fact that volume is not there. But at the end of the day, if we do see a breakout towards the upside, as we thought we were seeing right here, and as we thought we were seeing right here, you can see that volume upticked. We can see that increase of volume. So I'm under the belief that if we do see the breakout to the upside, that we will see that dramatic increase in volume. But the issue is that it does not seem at the moment that volume itself is going to be what pushes us out of this triangle, which kind of just goes to show that, okay, we may see the volume pick up, but at the moment, we're not seeing enough volume to really sustain the levels in which we're at now. So we definitely do want to see that breakout to the upside. Now, the second thing in which I am looking at is the fact that we are starting to see, our 4-hour MACD and our daily MACD both starting to converge a bit. Now, it's more evident on the 4-hour charts. As you can see, we did have this bearish cross between the blue and the orange line, and we can see that our slope on our red candles here is still increasing, meaning that they're still going down. We're not really seeing any bottoming out just yet. It does seem as if it's still in downward trajectory, and that does not mean that this may not be the bottom here, but it just kind of says that we're not inching back into bullish territory just yet, okay? And so what we do want to see is that if we see that breakout to the upside, we're going to want to see these red candles start to turn around a little bit, worked our way back into this green candle territory, as well as seeing that blue and orange cross, more of a golden cross happening there. Now on the daily charts, we can also see on the MACD that we are looking at a bit of, convergence. We're starting to see that this big upward move in which we're seeing these huge green candles, is starting to slow down. The distance between each candle is getting less, meaning that momentum is slowing, okay? Now this is to be expected. Of course, after we did see such big news, it's expected that we're going to see it pick up dramatically dramatically, then as the news slows down, it's going to slow down. That's totally normal. But what this tells me is that if we do continue to see this thing rolling, and if we do continue to see that the price is unable to pick up in volume, as well as the fact that we are extremely extended into overbought territory on the RSI, all of these things just tell me that there's a fair chance that we do see the price of mana break to the downside of, again, the symmetrical triangle in which we have been tracking, okay? And so with that being said, it's just a way for me to issue a warning while also giving you some of the positives and the negatives. Right now, I would say that buying within the symmetrical triangle is a huge risk, okay? An absolutely massive risk. If you do that, you're putting yourself just at a 40 to 60, a 40% chance that we go up to 60% chance that we break to the downside right now. And I think, taking that really uncalculated risk doesn't make a lot of sense. Personally speaking, I would be calculating my next play based off of where this breakout does happen. If we break out to the upside and establish some support on top of this previous level of resistance, I think, boom, that's a fantastic time to get in once we clear that breakout high. You can take advantage of a possible continuation to the upside. But if we do start to break to the downside, of course, we need to be looking to see where's this thing going to find some support, as at the moment, it could be relatively dramatic, right? Because at that point, we would be losing the 20 simple moving average on the 4-hour charts. So likelihood is we do extend down to the bottom of our Bollinger Band envelope, which is still currently around $2.16. Now, if we were to say reach the bottom of our Bollinger Band envelope on the 4-hour charts, but then we looked at the daily charts, you can see that, even if we lost that level, we still do have the 20 SMA on the daily charts, which is super far away, still down towards $1.20, okay? So I would definitely be looking to see that if we break out to the downside, allow this thing to find some support on top of a key level before just throwing money in because there's a dip, okay? Buying randomly on dips can really cause you a lot of emotional stress because it can continue downwards. You don't want to catch a falling knife. So with that being said, keep a close eye on these support levels. Again, I'm under the belief that if it does break to the downside, expect the price to fall towards, I definitely think that a fall back towards $2.50 is pretty likely. And I know that may seem dramatic and pretty drastic, but again, if we look at the daily charts, we're still extremely extended out of our daily Bollinger Bands, and the price of a crypto can only maintain this for a certain amount of time before retracing back to its moving average, okay? And so with that being said, my overall opinion right now is to keep an eye, if you're gauging on whether you should be buying or not, is to keep an eye on this symmetrical triangle on the 4-hour charts. We break out to the upside, look for that support establishment, and boom, there's room to go. In the long term, I think it's going to find some growth eventually. I think that we will continue to see a new higher high at some point. But if that is not right now, we definitely could be looking at a retracement to the downside before that continuation. And at that point is when I would rather be buying rather than just YOLO buying while we're in the middle of a consolidational event. So overall, I hope this does kind of give you guys a game plan of what to look out for and how you can play this thing rather than just throwing money in and hoping for the best. You're looking for breakouts, you're looking for support establishment, and you're looking for reversals in volume, you're looking for reversals in the MACD, and all of these different confirmations that'll give you a good overall picture of what you can see from mana. So with that being said, if you guys do want more of these videos, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I can make that happen. I can put more of these videos out about mana. I know this is the first time we've covered it on the channel, so if that is the case, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And if you do want access to all of the trades and buying that I do, just go down to the link in the description. It'll bring you over to the Patreon, which is where I'm fully transparent with all that information. But with that being said, of course, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you all later today with another polka dot video. So definitely stay tuned for that, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.